Art equals opportunity. There's tons and tons of research that shows how arts can and do play a critical role in setting a foundation for academic success for all students, as well as for the attainment of fundamental lifelong skills such as empathy. This session is aimed at how we can use research as an effective advocacy tool. I'm Meryl Goldberg, and I'm a professor and researcher at California State University, San Marcos, a campus that is federally identified as an HSI, a Hispanic Serving Institution. We're also an Asian and Pacific Islander and Native American Serving Institution. The majority of students on our campus are first in their generation to attend college. Majority receive financial aid, and strikingly, about 50% of our students are food insecure. We often don't think of food insecurity at college. However, not much changes for students who receive free and or reduced school lunches in K through 12 when they come to college. Since 1994, I've led teams of researchers on how arts impact teaching and learning among students at the elementary level, in college, and in the field of high tech. For this session, I'll present 3 studies: DREAM, Developing Reading Education with Arts Methods, which was conducted at the elementary level, the College Arts Edge Study, which focuses on college readiness and retention, and the Viasat Survey, which looks at the role arts play in high tech. As I'm presenting each of these studies, you'll notice why art cards on many of the slides. Each of these cards are in English and in Spanish, and they are linked to vetted research studies on our website, csusm.edu/artop. Thanks to the Stewart Foundation, we have been able to develop many advocacy tools based on research. Here are some of the why art cards here, including students consistently test higher in reading and math, art develops empathy, kindness, cross-cultural understanding, and students consistently show deep critical thinking skills. And again, there's tons and tons of research to back up these cards. If you go to our website, you will be linked directly to a whole bunch of these studies. All right, now, the first study I'll speak to is an arts integration research project we named DREAM, Developing Reading Education with Arts Methods. From 2010 to 2014, my team studied the benefits and challenges of using visual art and theater to teach reading in English language learner settings in 10 school districts in Southern California. The program was called DREAM, Developing Reading Education with Arts Methods. We, a group of arts and literacy professors in partnership with teachers and artists, created several arts integration strategies to engage English language learners. Pictospells, which you see on the screen, were an invention of a teacher-artist collaboration. Building on research conducted by Carol Chomsky and her students at Harvard University, pictospells address both spelling and word comprehension. Students draw out the meaning of their spelling words by drawing the meaning of the words with the letters. See if you can figure out any of these words. So the one on the left is round. Starts from the inside, R-O-U-N-D. The one in the middle is dinosaur, and the one on the right, as you can see, is snap. And you can see that the kids really understood the meaning of the words. In addition to this example, teachers and artists engaged their students in many reading-based creative activities, including acting out stories, becoming characters, and developing puppet performances based on the characters and storylines, and then extending them. We also successfully engaged students in creating rants, which I would describe as a combination of chanting and rapping, from telling stories related to reading or events in history. The DREAM research was funded with a highly competitive grant funded by the U.S. Department of Education, Office of Innovation and Improvement. We were awarded nearly $1 million over 4 years to document and evaluate 3 distinct groups of students. The first group of students had teachers with no additional training in the arts. They are the control group. The second group of students had teachers who attended a 1-week intensive arts integration boot camp to learn how to use art and theater to teach reading. The third group of students had teachers who attended the boot camp and in addition had a partner artist come co-teach with them in their classroom once a week for an hour for 20 hours over the course of the year. We measured several things, including the development of lesson plans, the interactions of teachers with students, and we were required by federal legislation to measure the students' test scores in reading. I wasn't worried about this requirement because test scores often rise in arts-rich settings. What we found, however, was really remarkable. Students in classrooms where teachers had the training plus an artist visiting scored much, much higher than the other two groups. You can see it on the chart. They went up by 87 points in 1 year on the California test. This is really unheard of. And in fact, the kids went from below basic to proficient. What's most important, however, is not the test scores. After we looked at the test scores and did somewhat of a happy dance because we were so thrilled with the outcomes, I had this realization, and that was that what's most important about this research is that all the kids were absolutely capable all along. It was the arts integration intervention that made the difference, but all the kids were capable all along. In fact, had a little bit of a dilemma as a researcher because we knew that the kids were doing so much better. Should we continue the study? But we decided to go for it and look at it over the couple of years, and sure enough, the same impact. All right, that's the DREAM study. Next, I'm going to turn to the College Arts Edge study, the SERP study. So the SERP Freshman Survey is designed for administration to incoming first-year students before they start classes. And here are a whole bunch of my students holding up some collages that they made. The instrument collects extensive information that allows for a snapshot of what incoming students are like before they start college. Key sections of the survey examine established behaviors in high school, academic preparedness, expectations of college, and student values and goals. The survey's been administered nationally since 1966. The following data is from just my campus. However, it goes back 15 years. We looked at two categories of students on our campus: students with 3 or more years of art classes in high school compared to students with 2 or less years of arts. We found that incoming freshmen with 3 or more years of arts participation have a substantially and statistically significant edge over students with less or no arts. Students with 3 or more years of arts participation rate themselves higher in many categories, including compassion, creativity, volunteerism, leadership, problem solving, critical thinking, participation in clubs, community and civic engagement, evaluating information, taking risks, and discussing controversial issues. Access to the arts, however, varies widely by school district, which we can directly tie to our data. Hispanic students, who are the majority on our campus, are the most underrepresented in numbers of years of arts background, raising the question of equitable access to the arts. We wondered how the self-rating related to actual college retention. So we looked into that as well. Not surprisingly, students with arts participation have a higher level of college retention as well. To illustrate our findings, Lucy H.G. Solomon, who's another professor here at Cal State San Marcos and a professor in media design, put together this sunburst. As you can see, students with an arts background rated themselves especially high in creativity and in compassion. But here you can see the comparison and what they all did. Lastly, I'll delve briefly into another study, and this one is in the workforce. Executives at high-tech companies such as Boeing and Qualcomm tout the importance of hiring employees with backgrounds in the arts, as they say they need folks who can work well with others, think outside the box, and be creative in problem solving. Some of my business colleagues, again, professors at Cal State San Marcos, wondered with me if it was actually true that the companies hired employees with significant arts backgrounds. We were lucky. We were granted access to Viasat, which was co-founded by Harvey White, also with Qualcomm, and we surveyed several hundred engineers. Sure enough, they had significant arts backgrounds, especially in music, with years of music education as well as outside lessons on instruments. This is in stark contrast to, say, the students at my campus, right? We also asked them how the arts made a difference in their work. Here are a few of the things that they said. Being in the marching band in high school, I had to work with people I didn't particularly like. We had to perform as a team, and it really taught me how to work well with other people. I learned how to take criticism and turn it into productivity. Being exposed to different forms of art from different places and time periods absolutely provided me with a better understanding of cultures and appreciation for everyone's contributions to the world. The ability to work well in a diverse team environment is invaluable to my current job. And finally, music gives me additional insight and vice versa into the design and operation of electrical circuits and systems. Now, this might not be a surprise, but the engineers were mostly white men. We already know that we need women in STEM careers, but we also need people of color. I think about my own students at Cal State and how they are disenfranchised from high-tech jobs simply because they didn't have access to arts and their K through 12 education. I care about my students. They are so capable and full of potential, but many have not had the opportunity to learn in and through the arts. The arts ain't fluff. They truly matter. Art Equals Opportunity is a movement we hope will go viral and be the next Got Milk. Something to the effect of, drink milk, eat your veggies, and do your art. Healthy living matters. As I mentioned at the top of this session, all the slides in this presentation are available online and as a packet of cards in English and in Spanish. To access vetted studies based on the slides in this presentation, visit our Art Equals Opportunity website listed here and write to us at artup@csusm.edu to request your own packs of cards to use in your schools and community. The cards have been used for writing proposals, speaking to school boards, in letters to parents, and by PTA members. In California, they've been used to support the LCAP budgeting process, and across the nation, the cards have been used to make a case for how the arts support Title I. In addition, there are oodles of articles, blogs, and books, including my own, that can be used to make your case. Be informed. It is as easy as can be with the resources you have at your fingertips. Use the research to make your own compelling case in your school, district, or community. All kids are capable. Let's ensure they have the opportunities they so deserve. Art equals opportunity. Thanks.